Hello. When you look at this Japanese black pine behind me, one of the first things that most people will do is look at the flaws. I do also. I'll look at the flaws of the tree and see how I can get the most out of it. One of the flaws that most people will see in this is that it has branch whorls where there's multiple branches coming out of the same point around the trunk. And you know what? That's what pines do. That's why that issue exists, because they'll have 4 or more, sometimes as many as 7 or more branches coming out of a whorl. So it'll be a pinwheel of branches coming out of one position, and it will swell the trunk there, and we get what's called inverse taper. If I was to remove all but one branch from each one of those whorls, I would have 2 main branches, a top branch, and an apex. There would be 4 stems coming off of this trunk. So in this case, I've chosen to keep as many of the branches as I think is necessary to make a wide image with this. It's not wired right now. I actually removed the wire so it can rest for the rest of the year. And then for next year, it is possible I may remove some of the branches that I can do without. But for right now, this amount of foliage is helping it to keep some vigor. It's allowing it to grow thicker, and it's also filling out the image. I think it's necessary at this point to keep all those extra branches. Now let me show you what I'm talking about. As you see in here, this is a branch whorl. And there's 2 straight across from each other in that section. This is that same whorl from another side, and you can see at least 3 from right where we're looking. There's a total of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 branches in that one whorl, and I already cut off 2 of the branches when I first got this. Same thing happens at this upper whorl. This has 4 branches as it is, and I also cut off 1 originally from that one. Okay, I cut off 2 from that one. So each one of these whorls had quite a few going on. This top section also had another section of trunk growing above it, and I left it with just the apex and a branch. I still have a little more carving to do to fix that. Something that's going on here is it has a long section here with no branching. So this section here has nothing going on, and it's much longer than the lower section. This section is relatively short. It's about 2/3 of the length of this top section. That should go the opposite way. The lower section should have longer spacing, and then it should get progressively shorter as it goes up to the top. This one doesn't have that. So I'm left with options of continuing to use the branches in the positions that they are and placing them wherever I think is right. I don't think I want to chop a bunch of these. I'm going to leave them. I know this is going against what many bonsai professionals say to do, but then at the same time, do a search online for Japanese black pine bonsai, and you'll see very many trees that use the shoots that come out of a whorl, and they fill out the image with the existing foliage instead of trying to remove branches just because it's what's best for the tree. What's best for the tree is often leaving more on it so that it can have the foliage mass for energy. So in this case, this one's keeping it. Well, I hope this was an interesting look at pine bonsai. I don't do a lot of work with pines, honestly. One of the reasons why is that they have a stigma about them, that you have to do certain things with them at certain times of the year. And those are proven methods for sure, but they're not something that I've really found an interest in bonsai. So I have 3 pine bonsai total in my collection. Make that 4. I just did buy another one, so maybe I like them more than I think. But in any case, I prefer the maple bonsai and deciduous bonsai because not a lot of people are really working with those. If they are, they're not really showing them off that well. What we see mostly in the States is conifers, Yamadori dug from the wild and created into really nice bonsai within a matter of a few years. Sometimes it does take longer, but when One thing I've been hearing is that it takes so much longer for deciduous bonsai to be show ready. Now, if you're going to be displaying your bonsai in an actual show, well, you do what's best for what you think to get that bonsai in the show. But if you want to just enjoy bonsai and you enjoy deciduous trees, well, do like me and do many more of them. Thank you for watching.